My name is Rod Underwood. I went to Furman University. I have been involved in the game as a player for professional level for 6 years and as a coach for 25 to 30 years.
So, take me through that moment of you first saying, I want to be a soccer player when I grow up.
Yeah, I mean, it was more of an accident. Just because my neighbor, his dad was an American football coach, and they wanted us to play on the team, and we went in and did all the stuff, but it didn't weigh enough, so I didn't meet the weight requirements. And next week, I show up in my school, and there's a poster up, play soccer. So I did, and there was no coaches around, no one knew anything about it, and my mom and her friend were the coaches, and that was from that point. I mean, it was like no looking back, no turning back. It's just like from the moment I did that, it was simply this is what I'm gonna do. I used to have this dream as a kid. I mean, I had this dream literally. I can remember the dream probably for like 10 years in a row, almost every night, dreaming about being a professional soccer player, and didn't have any idea how I was gonna do it, but just was something that I wanted to do, and having various coaches. But the thing I think that has impacted me the most is how relational almost every coach I had over how much they knew about the game has affected me, and it really affects what I do today as a coach.
Okay, so let's talk college a little bit. At the time, did you know that you were breaking a big racial barrier by being the first African American player at Furman?
No, I didn't, right? It's just been I don't know if I don't think about things or if I just do what I do and keep focused on a narrow focus, but I never really thought about it. I mean, I just knew I wanted to go play soccer, and really, I was recruited by a fair number of schools, and basically it turned out Furman called me first, and I said, yeah, that's what it came down to. It's like, one of those things, and I didn't think about it. When I got there, I didn't look at it. Well, I was the only black kid there in the school. There were very few black kids in the school. I never thought about that. I was just me, and I just did what I did. I know that I wanted to impact and influence and change culture and impact lives, but I don't necessarily see it as this great thing you're doing. It's just what I do. It's just who I am.
All right, Coach, talk to me about your first pro contract. What was it like signing that?
It was one of those things, right, that it just happened, right? Didn't know where you're gonna play. I mean, I was thinking about playing indoor in Atlanta because I grew up in Atlanta. I was playing on the reserve team at Atlanta Attack, and then I got the call to go to Albuquerque. A college coach was taking the job that we had played against, Marshall. So we went out. Another friend of mine from college, and he offered us a contract, and it was just like, hey, I'm a pro soccer player, and the town was great. We were in Albuquerque. I mean, literally at that time, this is like 1990, February 1990, we drove out to Albuquerque. I went back and forth. I went and played at New Orleans a little bit, and went back to Albuquerque. But generally, I mean, it's just, we had to scrape and scrimp and figure out how we were going to make it, right? Because soccer was not a thing, and not until, even when MLS came around in 95, 96, there was no money. There was not anything, but you just continue to push and push and push, and now today, it's awesome what these players have today, the opportunities they have today.
So what youth coach or mentor sticks out to you, and how do you kind of find yourself mimicking anything that you learned from them now?
I mean, it's really a culmination of all of them, and that's kind of how I coach. There's certain styles, there's certain coaches that I really gravitate toward, but I really try to take from a lot of different places, and same with coaches, right? The first couple coaches I had, they didn't know much about the game, but they cared about you, and they would pick you up for practice if you needed to. They would take you to games if you needed it. My high school coach knew more about the game, but it was all about relation. I can remember when I was getting ready and working on the college thing, he was like, hey, you better study for the SAT, you better do this, you better do that. And college coach was like very relational, and he was like, hey, you're struggling in those classes, you might be able to kind of practice, you gotta really focus on these things. So it was never just about the game, it was about the whole person. that's probably what it has influenced me the most about is trying to be relational with the players.
What's most unique about your coaching style?
I think my coaching style is open and inclusive. I allow every player to have a voice. I don't believe that any one person has all the answers. I believe that as a collective group, we can come to the best decision for the group. And I believe the players have the opportunity, have to earn the right to speak what they want. But understand that just because you speak what you want doesn't mean that's what we're going to do. It means that you are respected as who you are as a human. Your opinion is respected. We have a roadmap, and I tell the players all the time, this is our roadmap. How do you express yourself in the roadmap? Not how do you express yourself outside of the roadmap? And so it's about inclusion. It's about providing every player freedom to be expressive, but we all go in the same direction.
So who do you lean on to for mentorships at this kind of level that you're at?
Number one is my wife and my kids, even my 9-year-old, and my mom, my dad. There's a guy by the name of David Conchola that lives in Portland. There's various people that I still, a guy by the name of Aaron Treadway. All of it's because they all offer something that is supportive. You can find me at rodunderwood.com on social media. You can find me at Cut Inside. You can search me on Instagram at Rod Underwood.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. I think we're done. Thanks, Coach.